Our walk with God is a daily process, but we often find ourselves looking ahead, wondering, what's next? Where does my life go from here? What am I supposed to do next? And this often can cause anxiety, depression. And I feel like that's because there's so much uncertainty in our world. There's so much that we don't know about the future. I read a study somewhere where a lot of people in our generation, or my generation, in America in general, struggle with anxiety and depression. There's so much that's up in the air. So, what do we do with that? How do we combat that? We're going to talk about that today. The other day, I was speaking to the Lord about this, and He was really getting on me about how I often look into the future. And if you know me, I am a planner. I love to know what's next. How do I plan for this? What am I supposed to do in the future? Oh my gosh, I was a mess in college because I had to know what my major was going to be, and I had to have my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan of what I was going to do next after I graduate. So the walk with God that God calls us to, where we are daily seeking after the Lord, what our next step is, was always hard for me because I had to know what came next. And truly, God, He often doesn't tell us what comes next. Faith is described in Hebrews as being the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And if you read Hebrews chapter 11, I believe, it talks about how the people of God, well, it gives multiple examples of people of God who trusted in God, but they didn't know what was going to come next. They were just given an instruction and they went and they did it. Think of Abraham. He was given an instruction and he went and did it. We often see them as having success in their efforts in obeying God. We also see an example, the people of Israel. They were called by God out of bondage, out of slavery, into a promised land, a land that would be theirs for the taking. They were supposed to get there. The original trip was supposed to be a couple of days, but it ended up taking them 40 years to get to the promised land. And while they were in this wilderness time, this wilderness period, which many of us find ourselves in, where we're just waiting and waiting, the Lord was still providing for them, and He provided them food. It's called manna, and in Hebrew it actually meant, what is it? So it was this daily sustenance that literally fell from the sky, and it was food for them to eat while they were in the wilderness, because you can imagine when you're in a barren wasteland, which they were, there's not that much to eat, at least not that much that's appetizing. So the fact that they were getting daily food was a miracle. God, He gave them this manna, and this was His way of telling them, I am your daily bread. I will provide for you every day. I will be there for you every step of the way. But you have to seek me first daily. And in the morning, they would go out and manna would be there on the ground, and they would try to, and they would take it for them for that day. But if they tried to save up and store up manna, which they did, it would spoil because it was only meant to be for that day. And it's the same for us. God gives us instructions for the day, or we should be seeking instruction for God for that day. We should be praying, God, what would you have me do today? How can I do your will today? More than that, are you obeying the last thing? If you're looking for direction, ask yourself, are you obeying the last thing that God told you to do yesterday, last week, last month? Your answers to what's next could be already given to you months ago or weeks ago, but you just haven't responded to the Lord's leading. This is what submission is, obeying what the Lord is saying for each and every day. And it's a step-by-step process. And it really comes with just walking with the Lord day by day, submitting to Him in the little things, and eventually He brings us to the bigger things. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michelle, and here on my YouTube channel, we talk about the Lord in little Bible studies, 10 minutes or less. I hope you enjoyed this message, and Lord willing, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.